Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hello, everybody. This is Lee. My name's Lee Donovan. I'm the director of Lanix, and tonight is tonight is network night. Last night was chill and chat. Tonight is network night, and it's a very special night because at Lanix we have a lot of classes, English classes online now, but we also have different activities. Network night, conversation nights. So tonight is an opportunity for us to network with other business people in Bucaramanga and the area. Networking, helping each other with publicity, just giving good information. So that's what Network Night is about. And Lanix Group, again, has classes, discussion nights, and many different activities. So, Network Night tonight, sponsored by Lanix Group here in Cabecera. Now, we have a very special business team. There are two of them tonight. And before I give them the camera and we have a conversation, then later we'll have more conversation with other people. I need to say that they would only come on if I said they're the best, greatest ever bakery in Bucaramanga and Colombia. I think it's true, actually. I had some delicious food just last weekend, carrot cake. Oh my God, delicious. So tonight is a very special night with Network Night. We will welcome Michael Lowrey and Sandra Galvin, who are the owners and probably do many different things, delivery, etc. for British Bakery. So I'm going to introduce them. We'll have a discussion for about 15 minutes, and then we'll have more questions from other people. So let's turn it over. Welcome. Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Thank you for the great introduction, Lee.
Do I get some free samples because of my great...
We actually have some cakes here ready for you for the bribe, you know.
Excellent. Well, welcome, Sandra, Michael. Let's get into this. I'm just going to ask you a few questions. We'll discuss them, your answers, and then we'll have the others ask some questions. So, sort of for your introduction, tell us a bit about what you were doing before you started British Baking. What were you doing before, and even what countries? Because I don't think you're both Colombians.
I'm not Colombian, I'm English, hence the British baking. Sandra's actually from Bucaramanga, from here in Colombia, but she does have a very clear British, well, English, American accent when she speaks English. We actually met in Thailand. We were traveling around, going to different countries everywhere. And we actually met in Thailand maybe, like 2 years ago, maybe longer. 2 or 3 years ago now. We traveled around together to some different places, to Vietnam, to Laos, to Mexico, to New York. And of course we fell in love, you know. We actually got married just before the quarantine. Very luckily, because we had friends and family come all the way from England. And luckily, some friends were actually traveling around Latin America too, so they joined, which was amazing. You know, to have friends here and family was just even more special. You know, on your special day. Yeah, and then the lockdown hit, the quarantine, so we haven't had a honeymoon at all. We've painted some pictures and made ourselves feel like we're in the Mediterranean, but apart from that, nothing. And
yeah, very nice. Sandra, are you from Bucaramanga?
From Bucaramanga. But I'm a language teacher, so I've been traveling for the past 8 years of my life in different countries. And then in Thailand, when I was traveling around Thailand, I met Michael, and then we lived for almost a year in Thailand. Then we lived for 1 year in Vietnam, which was amazing too. And then we came to Colombia to plan the wedding and to be a little bit closer to one of our families. And of course, like Colombia is sunnier, it's cheaper than England. So we decided to stay here for a while, and then the lockdown started, and now we are organizing our lives according.
Wonderful. Asia is just beautiful, isn't it? Where in Thailand were you exactly?
Oh wow! We actually met in Chiang Mai, which is in the north of Thailand.
Right.
In my eyes, probably the most beautiful part of Thailand, but the only thing it's missing is a beach. But if it had a beach, then it would be completely different. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So yeah, we met there. But before we met, I did travel around all of Thailand, and so did Sandra. And yeah, Thailand's a special place. You know, it's very diverse, very friendly, very beautiful, very inexpensive. You know, everything's super cheap. You can feed yourself on maybe like $5 a day. And the food is amazing, in my opinion. And the people are friendly.
The food, the people, it's a spectacular place. My friend lived in Chiang Mai, so I went there, and then the beaches in the south, and such diverse areas. There's no beach in Chiang Mai, but it's still quiet and beautiful. It's quite spectacular. Very cool, right? Well, when you were traveling, and Sandra, you were teaching English, you didn't do any baking, so why are you running a bakery?
To be honest, because of the quarantine. Yeah, well, when I was in England, maybe since the age of being like 15, when you can illegally work, I started off as a job as a chef. And maybe for the past 9 years of me being in England, 8 or 9 years, I was cooking everywhere. It was my profession, you know. I went to college and I studied professional cookery, and I became a professional chef, and I worked in really good restaurants in England too. So it's my passion, you know.
Excellent. Fantastic. And now Sandra's passion, or Sandra, do you do other things?
I do all the tastings.
Professional taster.
No, I keep working on my profession, but it's Michael's dream. Like he wanted to create his own restaurant, but because we were traveling, it wasn't really an option because you have to stay in one place. And but now that when he started like thinking about it, and when the project started like having like a real shape and like becoming a reality, ever since that, I just started like helping him with all the translations, because of course we are in Bucaramanga, so not many people speak English. And so like all the translations, all the speaking to people, all the helping get people to know the product and everything, I've been helping with that. But he's the one with the ideas, he's the one who prepares everything, who packs everything, and then I just like help maybe take things to the delivery guy, answer the phone calls, answering like text
translation. Quality control, everything tastes delicious, you know.
Taste tester. Well, that's good, because you make a good team then. Good for you. And Sandra, are you also teaching now?
Yes. When I was in Vietnam and we decided to come to Colombia for a while, I decided to start working online, because unfortunately in Colombia, the wages are not good at schools. And so because we wanted to still be able to work and travel, we decided to he was already working online. I decided to start working online. Really? So I'm working with China, with an institute in China. And I started here after the quarantine, I started having classes on my own. So I'm kind of starting my own project too. And yeah, it's been amazing. I think it's a great decision to start working for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. Good for you guys. I mean, this pandemic has changed all our lives, and you've adapted well. Good for you. Yeah, quite a change in our lives. Congratulations to you. Let me ask you about the operation. Michael, I think you're probably the chef. What about promotion or distribution, or do you have a store? I think maybe you're working from your home now.
Yeah, at the moment we're working from our apartment where we are. The kitchen is very small, so it can be a little bit difficult to organize everything. But equally, it's why the menu at the moment is very limited of what you can buy, because we can't produce everything. You know, we can only fit 1 or 2 trays in the oven at a time, and that's me already working all day for 2 days, and then over the weekend making custom orders and whatever else the people want. So it can be quite challenging in the space, but we're getting by, you know. Everything, because it's only a small business and because we are only on Instagram, there's only a limited amount of customers that actually want to buy our product. So we're doing fine at the moment. We do have plans to find our own apartment to buy or rent, with obviously the most important thing being a bigger kitchen. Amongst the bedroom or anything like that, the kitchen has to be nice size where we can get a big oven, a big fridge, and I'm happy, you know.
Yeah.
As for your question about delivery, we both believe that we really enjoy helping other people. Whether it be when we have some leftover food, we give it to people who don't have any money or need food, you know, like the people asking for food on the street. And equally, when it comes to work for deliveries, we, instead of using companies that always have the domicilios active and working for larger companies, we want to use maybe individual domicilios. So luckily, we found somebody who lives in our apartment block here who has the domicilio license for a driver, who also recently lost his job just before the quarantine. So we give him all the work he can take. When we get pre-orders, when we get any orders, he's the first person we ask if he'd like that order, because we understand it as a family. He doesn't have lots of work. And for us, it's more important we help out individual people who need the help rather than big companies that don't necessarily need our help, you know?
Right.
So that's more important to us, and it's something that we both believe in.
Yeah, we also try to buy the supplies from local people.
Good.
We try, or no, we have a policy of 0 one-use plastic. So like we're starting very small, but we do want to follow like the things we feel are right.
Good.
And so, yeah.
Well, again, with the coronavirus pandemic, we just have to adapt. We have to make things easy and simple. And I agree, let's help each other. You help your neighbor, he delivers, perfect. You work from home. At our school here, we've had to streamline and try and save money. And this idea tonight, we're doing it to help each other. So I think those are 2 great principles. Work simply and help each other.
Absolutely.
Great to hear, guys. Now, I want to ask our friends, we have a couple of guests who will join us. So are you ready for more questions, Sandra, Michael?
Yeah, let's go.
Ready to go? Okay, here we go. Oh, there you go. Very nice. So let's continue. And we have one more friend. I see him. Riza, where is Senor Mauricio?
Okay, let me add him.
Okay, good. There he is.
Hi. That's an impressive beard, man.
Hi. Hello, guys.
Hello, Mauricio. Hi, Anna and Riza. Michael, Sandra, the other 3 or 4 of us will just sort of have a conversation and ask some questions. But Mauricio, Anna, Riza, introduce yourself when you have a question and talk about your company, because we want to hear about more companies. So briefly introduce yourself. Okay, let's start. Who has a question for our wonderful bakers? Anna, please.
I can start. Okay, I'm Anna. I work with children. I have a kindergarten. And yeah, I love my job, and is very grateful that you can see how the children is growing up every day, and how can you can teach them, and they get everything very easily. So yeah, this is my job and my company, and that's it. So I have a question for Sandra and for Michael. I want to know, since you start your company, what has been the most difficult challenge for you guys?
That's a really good question. I don't know if I should answer it honestly. Yeah, to be honest, I think the most difficult for me has been the language barrier. Because my Spanish is very little. Even though I speak a little Spanish, I like to try to speak. But I think that people don't understand me because maybe I sound like Tarzan. You know, my Spanish is very broken instead of like a complete sentence. So when speaking to suppliers or customers or maybe other things like that, I have to rely a lot on Sandra. Right. And which is difficult because she's also very busy with her own business. So it's kind of a lot of not pressure, but me relying on Sandra to help me a lot, you know?
Yeah, I think for me the most difficult thing has been to find a balance between the cultures, because Michael wants to bring like so much from his culture, and I'm trying to help him like think, okay, but is this something that people will want to buy? Or is like, I want to give him my opinion, but there is a point where I'm like, well, I should let him be, and I should let him be creative and just take risks. So for me, it has been a little bit difficult to like, also because I have like very strong opinions and Michael has very strong opinions. So sometimes I'm like, well, but we are in Bucaramanga, you need to remember that. And he's like, well, but I'm creating something. So it's been a bit difficult for me to find that balance.
Yeah, that's interesting because I'm a bit similar. Michael, my Spanish isn't great. God bless Riza. She'll introduce herself in a minute, but she's helped me immensely. And yeah, I bring parts of Canada to my company, but it can't be total Canadian because I'm in Bucaramanga.
So and the customers are the most important at the end of the day. You know, I understand that everything we do and the changes that I want to make, I always want the opinion of the people that are going to buy or the people that are customers, you know. So I'd say that every important decision or whether it be something that I'm thinking of changing, I will always post like a question or a story on my Instagram to get the opinion of other people. And it's kind of the only reason why we opened the British Baking in the first place is because I was completely unsure if this would work. But we actually was thinking of the idea, and I decided that I'd put a certain amount of money aside and I would bake maybe 4 or 5 different things and pack them up in little boxes and send them to maybe 30 different people around Bucaramanga, friends, family, random people, businesses, with a little questionnaire just to do some market research and just to see what people think. And everybody loved it. Yeah, especially the millionaire shortbreads. So we decided to take the plunge, and so far, I mean, it's been amazing.
Good for you. Well, I ordered your food again last weekend. It was spectacular. But anytime you want to send a free sample, I'll give you my opinion.
Always.
Okay, thanks, guys. Riza, what is your question there?
Yes, it's not a question. It's more like explaining about the different types of desserts you have, cakes, because I also tried them and they were delicious, but very unusual for me as a Colombian because baking is no It's not a big industry here in Colombia. And something that I found interesting is like you put, you write the name of each cake and you explain what's in. So I would like you to share with the people who are connected now about the different types of cakes you sell.
Yeah, so we sell mostly like European style desserts. Even though the name is British baking, there's not only British things. British baking is more meant because it's a British person that's baking the desserts, you understand? So nothing will be 100% Colombian. Everything will be very different. All of the desserts. So I've taken, I mean, with me working in England for maybe 8 or 9 years now, I've gathered together so many recipes, created so many different recipes, and had the time to perfect so many different things. So all of the combinations are very different to what you have here in Colombia. You know, we have a lot of biscuits mixed with caramel and chocolate. We have lots of breads mixed with sweet and sour flavors. And in my opinion, is very creative. You know, I think in Colombia, even though the panderias sell delicious things, it's very limited. Like you said, to pan de queso or arepas or tamales. And you struggle to find like a delicious cupcake or a really nice donut or something that's very, very Moorish, you know? So all of these, after living here for maybe like a year, maybe around a year, I was missing a lot of things, you know. I was missing a lot of things that I know I can make and things that are delicious in England. And I know that in Colombia everybody loves dulces, no? Like what are the obleas with arequipe, crema and queso and cheese. And I was just thinking to myself, like, with Bucaramanga being known as the home of desserts in Colombia, this is perfect. You know, it's a perfect opportunity for me, knowing that people here love sweet things, having all the ideas that I have of sweet things, and making them. You know, it's important that other people try different cultures, different foods. You know, and this is the main reason why we tried it in the first place.
Something like you said, Raisa, that is really is so true. That I was telling Michael not long ago that in my house we used to have an oven, but the oven was the place where we put the plastic bags. I remember in my childhood, my family using the oven for anything, and I know many friends who have the same situation. Like the oven is just something that is in the kitchen. We don't even use it, and some of the ovens don't even work, and people don't know if they work. Like my auntie, this apartment is from my auntie, and we had to check the oven before we started because the oven was there, but no one ever used it. So it was like kind of broken, but because it was never used, so it had to be fixed. And so that's a perfect example of how we are not used to eating baked things.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I like about, now that you were asking about desserts, one of the things that I really like about Michael's desserts is that they are not super sweet. Like sometimes you eat things that are very sweet and you just like bite it like a few times and you're like, okay, I'm saving this for next week. But there is a nice mix of like textures and flavors and things that are sweet. Of course, they are sweet because they are desserts, but they are not too much for you.
Sure. Michael, what do you have there? Is that a card?
Yeah, it's just my notes. No, I'm joking. This is actually just because Raisa mentioned before about the menu we have in the boxes. Like the name of the desserts are actually in English, but then we have the descriptions below. I don't know if you can see this. So this is actually an old one. It's not one that we actually have on the menu now. So we actually have the name of the dessert in English because it's an English brand. You know, we want people to understand that this is an English dessert or a European dessert. But then we break down not the ingredients, but kind of what's in the dessert underneath.
Description.
Yeah, broad description, you know. So like the millionaire shortbread here, we actually have underneath, what is it, caramello, galleta, y chocolate, because it's different layers of those three things. And we did that more of a reason of obviously we like as mentioned before, in English is the most important thing because we're an English company, and we also want the Colombian people to understand what they're eating. Most importantly, you know, we want them to think, okay, what is the name of this delicious dessert, and then they can kind of think about what they're eating or look at the positions in the box, because we actually lay out the box to each name. Does that make sense?
Sure.
Yeah, like the order of the menu is the order that you will find them on the box.
Yeah, exactly. So then they can kind of see what's in it. And we actually get a lot of customers messaging us about, for example, the mora with almendras. And to me, I'm like, what do you mean? And then, but that's the Bakewell tart that we had on the menu in the past. So of course, for communication and stuff like that, it makes everything a lot easier for everyone.
That's so
I have another question. Yeah, I have another question. I really want to know, what is your star product? That one that you can say this is so delicious that you can like avoid it. You have to eat it totally.
Well, I think I have maybe like 3 of those.
Okay.
Yeah, me personally, I decided to keep 2 of the items on the menu permanently because we had so much feedback here in Bucaramanga that everybody loved them. And that is the brownie and the millionaire shortbread, which is like the chocolate, caramel, and biscuit.
Wow.
Even though we had a lot of people say that in Bucaramanga you can buy brownie already, and brownies everywhere, the difference between the brownie we make and the brownie that's sold here is our brownie is very, very chocolatey and very fudgy, and and I feel like a lot of brownies you eat here are more like cakes.
Yeah.
You know, and we avoid that by making this brownie, which has like so much chocolate in it. It nearly gives me a sugar rush every time I bite some. And also, just adding to that, my personal favorite is the scone. It's like a traditional English scone.
Yeah.
And you like kind of like tear it open, and inside you fill it with like jam, like marmalada and cream. And every time I sit down with a cup of coffee and I have a nice scone by the side of it, I think it's my favorite moment of the day.
Yeah, that's
Nice.
The star product would be the millionaire shortbread. Ever since, like, that was one of the products that Michael prepared, like before he had the project where he was telling you that he made like a test with people.
Mm-hmm.
He made that and everyone was like, this is delicious. And ever since he started, we started selling the boxes. That is one of the ones that people say like, this is my favorite. So I think, not our opinion, but I think from the clients, is the millionaire shortbread, which is like 3 layers, and it's delicious because the cookie's not super sweet, the caramel is nice, and then the chocolate is dark chocolate, so it's like a really, really nice mix of flavors.
Really nice.
Anna, Riza got a box with a variety, and I did too, because we're both so interested to try Michael and Sandra's food. I think my favorite was the fudge, because it is different. I felt like, I'm in Canada or England. It's just really unusual. Anna, do you really enjoy sort of sweet desserts and sort of European style desserts?
Yes, I love desserts, and actually I used to cook and I love cooking, and in like 10 years ago I used to cook desserts, and I think that my star product is the tiramisu. I love it, and the people and all my clients all the time ask me for a tiramisu. So I really like desserts. But in this moment, I try like the fitness desserts as well, because nowadays more people is like taking care about their bodies and like to be
Good.
more healthy. Yes. So yeah, but I like sweets and desserts. For me, are delicious. Yes.
Me
I think
too.
to your soul.
Well, let me ask Riza. Riza, you and your family of 3 or 4 people, what was the favorite dessert for you guys?
We all voted for millionaire.
Millionaire?
Yeah, we all agreed on that one.
Because it's delicious, right?
It's delicious.
Yes,
But Mike-
all of them are super delicious. We cannot say that we didn't like one of them, but the favorite was definitely the millionaire.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that, because I was kind of thinking in my mind, like, if I was to create Colombia as a dessert, what would I make? And it would probably be the millionaire shortbread, you know?
Pretty delicious. So Anna, Michael and Sandra, they have Instagram pictures. We'll post their contact information tomorrow. You got to try, get a small order maybe, just try it. But oh, it's delicious food. So we'll post that information. But I have another question, Michael, Sandra. I like how you use English, because from a business perspective, it differentiates you. It makes you a little different. It's you know, it separates you from the other bakeries. Not only your food, but using English. I mean, I have an English school, so maybe also.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I think it's easier now because more people are speaking English. Like, or maybe many years ago, it was difficult for people to understand like English. They would know, like, I don't know, pencil, window, because it was only what they were taught at school or what they learned, like what they actually like remembered. But now that culture, like with having like the internet, having so many movies, so many series, like people are getting more and more influence from the language. People are speaking more English, and we have so many words in English in our like that we use every day, like I don't know, closet, selfie, like, or things that are being introduced to our language from English that some people don't even know, but they start using it. And so we think this is a good time for people to like not feel like this is so foreign, like this is English, I don't even want to try. We have some people saying like, well, I want some of it, like carrot cake, and they try to pronounce it, they know it, like carrot is zanahoria, and like I feel like it also helps people be involved in another language, in another culture, and that is great.
Interesting.
We also found out that there's even like Colombian companies, food companies that we actually look around, you know, to see the competition, actually also use English descriptions, but then again describe it in Spanish too, because like you said, it differentiates them, it makes them seem a little bit more interesting, kind of people kind of want to read it just because it's English, you know. And then just to see if they understand it, which is great, really.
Yeah, very interesting. Because I think you're right, Sandra. The English level is increasing in Bucaramanga. So it's an interesting way to market, to differentiate yourself. Guys, let me throw another question I have. What are your plans after the pandemic? You know, who knows? But they said September 1st, we're free. We can go out, mass.
Fingers crossed.
Me too, right, Riza? Anna, we need to open our...
Yes, of course.
I mean, I hope so, because I'm getting quite a big belly from eating all these desserts, if I'm honest. And I struggle to go out cycling or exercising because, well, we're not allowed, you know. But who knows? Maybe after the pandemic, I mean, we're definitely still going to remain open. That's 100% certain. Because I mean, this is like a dream and a passion of mine, you know, to open something successful, And to continue, especially when it's doing so well, I mean, it would make no sense to stop the organization. So we'll definitely keep going 100% ahead. As of whether we look into something bigger, like opening somewhere, don't really have the money for that at the moment.
We'll have to go slow.
We're just going to build it up slow, because I think, to me personally, it's more important that we get a solid client base who love our desserts for what they are, rather than seeing an English shop somewhere and they just want to go there because it's English, they want to show off to their friends. We want people that are loyal, you know, and that really understand and enjoy the things we sell. So I think once we've built up that, is someone froze?
No.
Hello?
No, babe.
Hello.
I think Lee and Riser.
I'm still hearing you. Yes, they get freeze.
Okay. Yeah, so I think maybe we're going to take it slow now for the beginning. And of course, I would love, it would be my dream to open up a bakery and to sell things. And more specifically, there you are.
Sorry, connection here.
No problem. And yeah, I mean, with the freedom of opening the shop also would be more room, more space, more things to produce better ideas. I mean, I have so many ideas, but there's a lot of things that would have been melted by the time they get to the house, or would have been broken or banged up in the domicilios, you know. So we're very limited at the moment as to what we can actually create. So who knows?
Yeah. I think the pandemic has definitely changed our plans, because before the quarantine, we had plans of traveling. Well, of course, having a honeymoon, traveling, and only spending a little bit of time in Bucaramanga. And now that Michael started his dream, I think we're gonna stay here. Like, this is gonna be our base, and then, because it's both of our dreams is still to travel the world and go to so many places, we're going to try to like I don't know, do a little bit of what we both want to do, but still trying for this business to work. And we have to take it slow. It's only been 1 month. The thing is that people have received it so well. We have like almost 1,000 followers already. We have sold out every weekend. Like, it's been amazing. And so it feels like we have made so much, but it's been a short period of time. So I would like, yeah, our dream is for this to grow so big that we need to open a shop, and maybe more than one. But right now we're just gonna continue like doing it slow and trying to mix that with our
dreams, you know, because we don't really want to. Yeah, because we don't really want to put our dreams on hold either, because we already have plans, and we've had plans for maybe the past year to visit my family in England this November, to spend time with family, you know, and Christmas, because I've not been there for maybe 2 or 3 years. So it's important that we keep mixing the work with the pleasure, you know, and we get we get some of the pleasure back from all the work we put in, because I don't. The main reason why I left England in the first place was to get away from the grind, and I don't want to jump back in it with 2 feet and be disappointed. You know, I want to make sure we get a good balance and we continue happily, and the happiness will portray in our food, and then people will enjoy it, and our business will grow.
Perfect. I love that idea. I think what you guys need to do is grow steady, slowly and steadily. Get a good location, get a good manager, and then travel part-time every year. That would be perfect.
That would be the dream, yeah, 100%.
But I totally appreciate what you say. The pandemic has had its effect and changed all our lives, probably Anna too. Anna has her school, and you're waiting to open up as well, I guess, Anna.
Yes, everything changed and has been so difficult also because there are children, and we have like since 3 months to 5 years old, so they are really small, and not everyone can stay at home with children and also working at home. And yes, it's so difficult, has been so difficult, but we're still we're still on the way.
Still on the way. Well, good luck to you guys, to all of us. This pandemic is weird, but it's great to have you, Michael, Sandra, and Anna, Riza, because let's just help each other out. We'll support each other. I do need to order more food from you guys. That was delicious. But
whenever you're ready, Lee.
Michael, Sandra, I live by myself, and I ate like all 6 of those desserts like within an hour or less.
Oh, you sound like me now, Lee.
Oh my God, they're delicious. So Anna, Riza, we all have to try them again because they're pretty spectacular.
I will do definitely.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry guys, we're gonna wrap up. Any last minute thoughts there, Michael, Sandra? It's your show today.
Yeah, I mean, just before we do go, I did make some cakes today because we're actually like kind of like selling some of the favorites from the customers already because they always want more of certain things. So we're trying to provide that to the people so it's always available. So we actually have some things available here today.
Oh, nice.
Everywhere, but we actually have a cake this size of 3 different types. So we have a Victoria sponge cake, traditional English, which is like a vanilla sponge filled with berry jam and vanilla buttercream. We have here a lemon drizzle cake, which is like with poppy seeds, lemon, and a drizzle of icing over the top, like all the way around. And then we have my personal favorite and most people's favorite in Bucaramanga too, which is the carrot cake. This is like different to your traditional carrot cake because this is like 80% carrot. And this has in it like a cream cheese buttercream, like with cinnamon, toasted almonds, and it's very moist, like moister than most cakes, and it's very, very delicious. And these are available for 30,000 pesos each, and they have like a really good portion for 4 people, which again is the most popular choices of cakes from customers of recent time. Also, if you want to know where to buy these, most importantly, you can message us through Instagram. It's our best way of messaging us. On WhatsApp, we are available on Facebook too, but we don't really know how to work the inbox system on Facebook, so maybe WhatsApp again would be the best option. And yeah, if you want to order anything particularly for your birthday or for a special event, or you have a custom order, or you've saw something that you've never seen in Colombia but you would like to try, you can ask me to see if I can make it also, and if it's possible, then absolutely. So yeah, please get in contact.
Perfect. Michael, before we go, let me just read a couple of comments from our observers. Jessica goes, English muffins. I'm going to order some of your food tomorrow. Vanessa says, I want to try the millionaire shortbread. Sounds delicious. Claudia says, I love the cakes. Where are you located? So I hope they all got the good information. They can get your address tomorrow or contact you now on WhatsApp.
Absolutely, yeah.
So people who are observing our followers can call you tomorrow. But, unfortunately tonight I had Mauricio came for about 5 minutes. Did you see Mauricio earlier?
Yes, I saw Mauricio.
We saw him and then he left.
He texted me, sorry, my battery died. He couldn't continue, but he has a restaurant. I wish he could have joined us. So anyways, guys, we're going to wrap up 2 of Anna's. That's kind of fun.
That's interesting.
Okay, guys, so Michael, Sandra, thanks so much. Riza, Anna, wonderful night. Thanks, guys.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you so
Bye
much,
bye. Have
Lee.
a good
Have
night.
a good night.
Have a good
Thank
night.
you so
Thank
much.
you. You too.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.